Welcome to Dream Reality Talks with your host, Reverend MB. Let's dream. Come right on in. We got a spot for you. Greetings and well-being. This is Reverend Anem A. Bay, Reverend Anem B, Reverend Anem, the Intuitive Shaman, Reverend Anem Tori C.A. Bay, many different names I have, but I am one being. And I am joining you here today on Dream Reality Talks. It is December the 18th. Oh boy, there's a whole lot to cover. But first I want to say, if you'd like to know a little bit more about me, you can definitely go to ankministries.org to learn all of who I am. And if you would like to be a guest here on Dream Reality Talk, please feel free to contact me. You can hit me up through my website, or you can contact me at Planet9Radio at Outlook.com. Either way is sufficient for me. If you would like to be a guest on Dream Reality Talk, just talking about dreams and all that they entail for us. You may want to break down your dream, have it deciphered on air. You may want to email me so that I can decipher on air. However, you would like to be a part of this, please feel free to connect with me at any time. My gateway is open for that particular communication. So I look forward to hearing from you. I do have one guest that will be a part at some point in time. We're just trying to work out schedules so that she's able to, put her voice in the space. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shift gears now, and I'm going to move to what this podcast is about, talking about our dreams and what reality they speak to us. Whether that's something in the future or something in the now, or just a reminder of our past dealings, where we've been, and how they may tie in or affect the now or the future. So, what I really want to bring to light right now is, I know you may have noticed last week I was not present on the podcast. My phone had died maybe 2 weeks ago, and I'm currently still waiting for my new phone to arrive, as it will. It's been very interesting documenting my dreams. As I stated in the first show, I always keep a hard copy, but that hard copy usually comes after I have verbally put that information into my phone, and then I'll document from there. So trying to document from memory onto paper is a little slow for me. As good as technology may be, it's still slow. I need to have the technology where I can project my inner thoughts on paper, or not on paper, but on a virtual notepad instantly, without having to speak it out. It's just boom, it's manifested. That's That's real technology for me. However, since we're still dealing with some of the prehistoric creations um, that are trickled, and I'll say prehistoric now, because technology is always being developed. Although the end of the product has already been developed long time ago, but since we're living in this Western world where they're actually trickling out bits and pieces of technology that they have stolen from the ancients and bring it into view for the consumer. The consumer is the one that is unaware of technology as it has already been created. The consumer only purchases what is presented in the now. So what's here in the now is very prehistoric to me. If you're unable to follow what I mean by that, if we tap into old shows like Star Trek, just, you can think about Star Trek. And you think about the sister, Aurora, who was part of the cruise ship, Captain Kirk and all of the rest of the crew. Back then, she was sporting a Bluetooth that no one really, well, only a few of us paid attention to. We resonated with what was going on, and sooner or later in the 21st century, 20th century, maybe, the Bluetooth was given to the public. But that technology had already been created. So what we're witnessing is ancient technology being trickled out to the masses little by little. That way you can keep the system going and you can keep, us buying into it. However, aside from that, I hadn't been able to really record most of what has come up for me in my dreams as rapidly as I usually would do. I have some archived dreams in a book, some stored on my computer that have been printed out, so they are filed. Some of those books, it's going to take me a minute to sort through what I would like to present. So I'm just going to go raw right now. I'm just going to go with what is on my heart to go with at this time. So as I was talking about technology and how it's trickled out to the masses, little here, little there, keep you buying, keep you dying, keep you buying, keep you, however, people were being kept through the whole process of technology. Me, I'm patiently waiting for them to get to the real stuff. So now that I'm here in this analog space, as technological, as technically, and I said that incorrectly, but as technically as it is advanced right now, I'm still here in this space to bring forth something that came to me in one of my dreams just a few days ago. Now, I can't recall every idle thing that was going on, but I do know that there was a young lady that appeared in the dream. And in the dream, there was a lot of action going on around. What that action actually detailed, I'm not for certain at this moment. However, I do know as this young lady was there in my consciousness and doing what she was doing, it just seems like she was doing the mundane things, nothing out of the ordinary. She was just living her life. And as she was living her life in my dream state, I witnessed this animal that rushed into the space where she was. And I want to call the animal a horse or a wild boar, but it had, I don't know, maybe multi-dimensional type of look to it. So I really can't call on this realm what it would resemble exactly. But it was like a mixture of, it was as big as a horse, all black, had this strip of hair like a horse has down its head and back, but it was muscular, really muscular, almost as if I was looking at the structure of a bull or a boar. A bull is muscular, stocky. And then you have the boar, which is the smaller version, kind of like the bull and pig together, like a hybrid. That's the way I want to call it. It was like a hybrid, like genes was spliced in, egg. It was put together looking like it was looking. And this wild animal had rushed into the space trying to get to the young lady that appeared in my dream. And it's like, wow, what is this that I'm witnessing right now? There was law enforcement that had arrived on the scene. They didn't have the typical uniforms that they have on this realm as we know it. Somehow the color orange tied into the uniform. In particular, the headdress that the officers wore had a trace of orange in it. So if we know colors and we know animal symbolism, we can understand where we are. And if not, just bear with me while we walk through the breakdown. So yeah, they showed up on the scene attempting to subdue this hybrid animal. And the weapons that they pulled out was not weapons that you can currently recognize. Now, I don't know how many of you out there really are tech savvy or up on the latest weaponry or the latest technological advance to weaponry. But what we see here and now is not, let me just put it this way. The advancement of weapons have gone far beyond what you can consciously receive at this point. So much so that I'm not going to take up a whole lot of time to involve that, because now we get into the realm of quote unquote conspiracy. And I save that for another time. But I do want to tie in that the reality that as we know it, that we currently live in, these weapons are already here. They're already made and crafted, waiting for that particular time to unfold, to utilize them. And if they might be already using them and just not in a public arena. So this weapon was pulled out. It looked like it had like this blue neon type of light in there that kind of, if you look at sound waves, like if you Google images of a sound wave or frequency, it kind of resembled that, but it was the color blue. So I didn't witness whether they got the hybrid or not, because I woke up at that time. I think I had to go to the bathroom or something. So that dream had gotten disturbed a little bit. The young lady was very frightened. She was afraid. I remember feeling that from her because she didn't understand what was going on at that time. And just a few days after that, I had gotten a message from my relative to let me know that the young lady that was ambushed, the cop that was ambushed in Maryland, was her neighbor. And my nephew interacts with her children. So fast forwarding from that conversation, when she told me that dream came up. And I decided to do a reading on that situation, which I will not disclose here for privacy concerns. But what I will say is that here recently, as of yesterday, today is December the 18th, December 17th, the suspects were apprehended, which was to me very quick, but I would love to hear what the court proceedings would be, or would sound like regarding that. But just to bear witness to that on the astral realm, and to see it play out on this realm a little bit more clear, it's like, wow. Very interesting. Very interesting. I wanted to take a little time to talk about animal symbolism. And I don't want to talk about it in the most common ways heard, animals mean this in your dream. And yes, they do have a meaning. And remember, this particular animal that showed up was not something that we always, it's not something that we're familiar with on this realm. At least I wasn't. And I'm sure as I described that animal, many of you may not even recognize it in your own mind as to what in the world it was. However, it was an actual living, breathing thing. So the symbolism here with that is we're looking at so many different things. I'm thinking about the hybrid nature of the animal. When something is hybrid, the actual genetics of it has been hacked and overwritten with other forms or programs to make up that one particular thing. Forgive me as I burn my Palo Santo to continuously clear the airspace. I didn't get my, let's see. Now pull my Palo Santo out to clear the listening ears, to clear the viewing eyes, to clear the space and energy, because what I'm about to say may scare the hell out of some of you. May wake some of you up. And who wants to be awakened to something unpleasant? So here I'm giving you good vibes and good smells to bring you out of your slumber as we move forward, right? So that hacked DNA, you're talking about an ambush that happened. Ambush, we know what the hell that is, right? Something that's hacked. Makes me question the legitimacy of the arrest. Makes me question the legitimacy of the intelligence of those or that has created a situation to be what it was. So what I wanted to also tap into, you know, so many different scholars have spent so many hours and money to define dreams and what they are. But what I would like to talk about is that right now, somewhere on the opposite side of the world, from wherever you are, there's someone that's asleep. And in their sleeping state, they are constantly building and creating worlds, correct? As they build and create worlds, now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with shape-shifting. Definitely want to take some time to tap into what that is. But shape-shifting is just exactly what it states, where an individual can become something else at will. This is easily done when we are in a dream state because our spirit travels. And if you have the awareness to go inside of your dream state and just look at yourself in a mirror, you'll see that you're not who you are or who you know yourself to be on this plane. See, spirit is like water, it's flowing all the time, and it shifts depending on what's around it, what's in its way, blah, blah, blah. So they are spirits from individuals that claim the spirit space as they dream and shift themselves accordingly. So as they shift themselves, they're able to tap into or synchronize themselves with the consciousness of something or someone else. So this is part of what is expressed when they're talking about extraterrestrials, aliens controlling this world and this, that, and the other. Let's talk about us and what aliens we hold inside of ourselves. Because as we dream or go to sleep at night, those things come to life. Right now, if we are on the side of the globe where it is daytime, all of the interactions that are happening outside of our window is created by someone that is right now currently exploring the dream space, that is tapping into the conscious or synchronizing with the conscious of those that are around us, vice versa. I guess the point of me stating that is to say, do you know the alien inside of you? Are you able to make contact and make corrections where you deem fit? Raise your energy and vibration so therefore anytime you decide to walk in spirit and synchronize with another individual's conscious space, you're able to create harmony, balance. Some of us are stuck in that struggle. So we allow certain aliens that operate outside of our highest intelligence or highest knowing to guide us and to be a part of situations that are harmful. Although everything is in divine order, part of the divine order is being able to come home to self. Are you able to do that peacefully? Are you able to tap into the aliens that reside in you? Are you even aware of aliens that may possess you at any given time? Some of us are feeling comfortable with, hey, as I talked about the cop being shot. Well, it was a cop. They signed up for that. And true, they do. They don't sign up to be shot. They just know it's a part of their job description, that death can come upon you at any given time. You don't even have to be a cop for that, but it's more dangerous operating under those uniform codes, especially now because people are becoming aware of their own inner power and what they can and cannot do. I don't know if I'm talking alien talk to some. Hopefully, the alien that comes forth in me, you're able to resonate with. So how is that? Things are in divine order. But yet we have death going on 24/7, all day, every day. Well, sleep is going on all day, every day, 24/7, whether you recognize that or not. So in the dream world, what are you creating? What are we creating? Everybody wanted to see this utopian type of reality, this reality where we all come together. We all benefit from unity. But yet when we talk, in our speech, there are words that suggest separation. Because of someone's color, because of someone's sexuality, because of someone, you can only do one or two things. You either love or hate. Which one is it? Be clear. Because if you're not operating out of complete love, as a matter of fact, let's back that up. What does love look like for you? Because everybody has a different description of love. So my way of loving could be destructive to someone else. How can we balance that? That's eradicating any alien type of vibrations that are going on around that communication. That's how we get rid of anything that no longer serves us or is not a part of our highest good or being. So my way of loving you, if that means it looks like not too good for you, it looks like I'm hating on you, how can we resolve? How can we vibe better together? How can we do that? Let's get rid of these alien type of vibrations that go on when we see each other or when we are in each other's space and place. Well, I don't want to associate myself with you because you are a part of this and you are a part of that. Okay, that's fine. We don't have to travel together, but when we come into each other's existence, into each other's view, how can we respect one another? Where do we really get along? Let's find that commonality and raise that vibration, because that's all that matters. So that way, when we go into our dream state, we can continue to build worlds that reflect the unity that we so want right now, right? Yeah, that's what the dream about the young lady in that hybrid, what that represented for me. That later on connected to the shooting of the police officer. Somewhere her spirit is resonating with me right now, not because, she's a relative of mine, neighbor. I don't know her, never met her. Only seen her son maybe once. And I couldn't even tell you in detail what he looks like. But I will say right here, right now, what was called through that whole action is how can we create a reality where we respect one another and eradicate these alien-like thinking, being, talking type vibrations that do not serve us, do not allow us to respect one another, no matter what our background is, but to synchronize harmony and vibration of love. Yeah. So that dream, it seems so unrelated, right? It seems so unrelated, but you relate. I know you do. Else you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be listening. Where are those aliens speaking in you? Let's start to talk to them and ask them, are you here to help the vision of unity? Or are you here to further keep separation going? Listen to what they have to say. Because if they are pulling you away from a growth moment, then it's time to transmute them. Let them go. Thank them for teaching you how to tap into yourself, how to listen, how to discern what spirits are talking to you. Somehow that hybrid, whatever was operating in that hybrid, had it come and draw to that young lady, whatever was operating in her, had her be in that space at that particular time. Lessons, all to show lessons on a human scale. What are we creating? Hell, what are we doing to our animals that we're causing them to be hostile and not even recognize the partnership between human? And I say that for, I won't say lack of better term, but so that you can resonate with what I'm talking about. Because if I say something else, you won't really get it. But on a human scale, they bring you these acts so that you may get the lesson. Wherever you're suppressing that wild urge inside of you is causing that hybrid to be apparent and to operate in the realm of destruction. Call your energy back in, so that when you lay your head down on the pillow at night, you can create beauty, you can create harmony, you can create peace in this world. So I hope that dream really helps you out, especially as we move towards the new year. And speaking of new year, I, as well as two other co-hosts, we are hosting a Renew for 2022 event. You can definitely check us out on Facebook. But how do you get to that event page? You can definitely go to ankministries.org, my website. I do have that information posted there. We have come together and just allow ancestors to show us how the event should go and what to charge the public. So we have honored that request by honoring wherever you are financially right now. So if you go to my website, ankministries.org, and tap into the event, you'll see there are many different self-investment options. And it is a self-investment. So please find yourself there. Again, I thank you for joining me here on Dream Reality Talk. And again, if you want to be a part of this podcast, you know where to find me. Don't be a stranger. Until the next time, I say ashe, and so it is. Thank you for joining.
One day I don't give I wanna sway to the left or right. Who